Yeah, you're so sick. You make me itch. You burn my skin. Still you I want to hold. You're so sick. You make me itch. I toss and I turn and my fingers twitch. The thought of you, it burns my skin to the bone. And still you I want to hold. Take it back, too much to unpack. The hate in your head and heart that you lack. The thought of you, it burns my skin to the bone. And I can't leave you alone. You're so sick, you're selfish, it's endless. Still you I want to hold. I miss how we used to be weightless. And I can't leave you alone.
Hey guys, hello. Welcome to what is going to be hopefully a fun, interactive stream where I get you guys involved. Back again, third stream of the day. You love to see it, you really do. Why is my mic doing that? Chill out, brother. In today's stream, we're going to be as much as we can. We might not touch on every single club because I don't have anything to say about like Ipswich, but you know, we'll be doing our best to run through the clubs who've done, well, everyone's done some business. We are going to be reviewing the transfer windows of the Premier League clubs, obviously with a particular focus on, you know, the teams who are most interesting, you know, the bigger clubs, of course. That is a thing. And if there's anyone who wants to come on the show and chat, so for example, I can immediately see Liam saying to get him on because I know he wants to. I just got Arsenal here just for argument's sake. No, I want to touch on every club in top 10 leagues. Okay, now less of that. And I know that DR is a West Ham fan, so DR will be coming on to talk about West Ham, who obviously played today. And I say Liam Burnt is a Liverpool fan. I actually don't know Liam's full thoughts on the transfer window, so that'll be interesting. Obviously, as one of City's title rivals, that will be a thing. I mean, Liam, shall we start with Liverpool, mate? Yeah, I was going to say, shall we just bloody do it? If I get Liverpool's activity up, we can have a look, can't we? If you want to hop into the chat, we rank top 3 and bottom 3 winners. Brie, we could do, you know, we bloody could. We could even assign them all grades, couldn't we? So if we have a look at, here we go. So I mean, it's pretty bare in terms of, you know, what Liverpool have done. But that's why I want to get a Liverpool fan on. I'm just in general chat in the Discord. Liam, if you want to hop in. What's Liam going to talk about? Invisible Subliminity. It's the Phil Foden. Big up to you, mate. How are you, sir? How are you? We've got Jack to talk about Southampton. And also, Jack, because I know Will's not here, could maybe you could also just talk about the general teams that got promoted as well, potentially. Nobbins watching midfield in midfield again is a pure joy. I know, absolutely. Oh, I'm joined by Liam, who's being very patient and waiting there. Hello, Liam Burn.
Who said that about Zubimendi?
DR said, where is it? What is Liam going to talk about? Invisible Zubimendi.
All right.
You're quite quiet, by the way.
Yes, I was just whispering, mate.
Why?
I'm devastated, you know.
Why devastated?
Oh, because DL's upset me, obviously.
Crazy. Well, speak louder, I reckon, so we can all hear your lovely voice. And guys, if you've got any questions for either myself or the guests who are speaking on their clubs, then feel free to pop them in the chat. As I say, we're starting off strong. We're starting off. I don't know how long the show's going to go. It depends how much you guys are interested. But I want to touch on certain clubs, of course. I want your guys to always give like a rating in the chat as well and your thoughts on it. So Liam Byrne, Liverpool, you needed a DM. Everyone knew you needed a DM. You didn't sign a DM. You've signed a keeper for the future. You've signed apparently another keeper who I've never even heard of, Vitoslav Jaros.
He's back from loan.
Okay, so he doesn't count. And you've obviously so really you've signed one player. because your keeper's not coming in this season. He's going back out. You said,
let's call it 2 just to make me feel better.
right, okay. So, and in terms of like the sales, you haven't lost anyone. Although to be fair, you need a 6. You sent out one of your 6s on loan, so that's an interesting strategy.
No, I back that decision.
Buy Chetic on loan. Why?
Well, because he's been injured for a year and a half. He played like 2 games last season. He's apparently not fit at all. He needs to play. It doesn't really make much sense just throwing him straight in to play for us. So go somewhere else. I would have rather have gone to Barca, to be honest. But
why did that not happen? 'Cause
Salzburg's
I'm surprised. I didn't even realise he went to Salzburg. I thought it was Barca.
no, they couldn't afford him. They had some like FFP issue.
Of course
They couldn't afford a 4 million loan fee because La Liga blocked it.
Oh my god, these guys are so washed. And speaking of washed, you've bought, Chiesa.
No, don't do that.
No, you've bought Chiesa, who was a great player a few years ago, but is obviously not a midfielder. So, have you improved on last season?
Yeah, but like extremely minimally. Like it's the tiniest little improvement ever. But it's definitely obviously you can't bring in Chiesa and say you've not improved when you've not lost anyone. But yeah, we didn't address anything we needed to address. I would say there's probably 3 things that needed to be addressed, and none of them were. So
yeah, I don't really get that, to be honest. So I had you in 3rd before the window because I feel like you're basically the same as last season. Chiesa coming in doesn't really interest me in terms of me wanting to turn you into a proper, you'll be there in the last 2 or 3 games contender sort of situation. And then, Oren, are you okay to leave? And then I'll bring you in when the United section is a thing.
My bad.
No worries at all. Wait, is Oren a Liverpool fan, actually?
I have no idea.
I've forgotten. I think Oren might be a Liverpool fan. No, oh my god, I've just kicked out a Liverpool fan, the Liverpool section. I apologise. Anyway, I thought Oren was a United fan for some reason. My bad, he's a fucking Liverpool fan. Anyway, I'll speak to Oren after you, Liam. Yeah, so, what was I saying before I got distracted? Yeah, you haven't signed the DM, so realistically you're finishing 3rd, not properly challenging. Is that fair to say?
It's definitely fair to say, but I feel like we're going to be in for a bit more than that, to be honest. Depending on what happens tomorrow, I feel like if we can get over tomorrow and actually have a convincing performance, I'm actually going to be quietly confident about going further than I think, to be honest, because the way Slot's playing, as obviously Klopp's a very good manager, but I feel like Slot's better suited to going further in the title race. Obviously Klopp's done it many times, but last season we crumbled because we couldn't control games. That's kind of Slot's thing, so we'll see. I'm excited. To be honest.
Oren, sorry to go over Liam. Oren, get back in the chat. Apologies. You get involved in this conversation. I totally got you wrong. Get there. This is for Discord, Chris. Yes. I can always try to change it to like StreamYard for audio purposes. I could maybe do that going forwards. Maybe that's a thing. But yes, this is a Discord situation. You can also get the app though on your phone, but maybe for future ones I'll use StreamYard or something if that's easier. Yeah, I can't believe I actually called him a rag. That's outrageous. That's like the biggest. That's like when you call like a Scottish person English. I feel like that's what I've just done to Oren there. Just absolutely wild. Is that Oren right now?
Yes.
Excellent stuff. Did you hear what Liam was a fellow Liverpool fan saying?
Yeah, but like Iron Slot and like his style of football.
Yeah. Okay. See if you know what's going on in the conversation. Lovely. So do you echo the thoughts of Liam, Ari, the transfer window? Or if you can call it a window.
I kind of, I'm looking at it a bit. I would have liked the number 6. Zoumeni coming in. That would have been fun. That would have been lovely. But like, I also like the idea of like, this is his Slot's first season. Let's see what he can do with like the current squad, because I don't really consider this season a title contending season per se. Like, I don't think we're going to be challenged for much. I think this is more of a rebuilding season, seeing what we can do.
Is that
looking at the
good enough, given you have Salah and Van Dijk and Trent and Alisson who want to win now?
Yeah, I know, I get that. I think the main issue I've had is with the fact that we haven't like renewed those contracts, especially Trent. You know, the other players, but well, maybe not Alisson, but like, you know, other players, you know, they're in the wrong side of age. You know, but Trent, we should have had that lockdown first day of the summer, in my opinion. Probably Salah and Van Dijk too for a few more years as well, but definitely Trent. But again, in terms of signings, I kind of like.
Signing,
well, I wouldn't say like.
Let's not get cheeky. There's no plural here. You signed one player.
Yeah, I know. Like, right. Well, look at the. Yeah, well, we'll look at the signing. The signing is not really that much of a risk. We've spent bare money on him. He's rather going to be a mediocre backup at the worst, or at the best, beast player off the bench that could do tons of stuff for us. So I think it's a good signing. I like the signing. Smart business from Liverpool. You know, there's very little risk to it, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, of course, yes. I've got a question for Liam here. Well, it's actually from Musty's comment. He says, Trent has already booked his plane ticket to Madrid. Now, Oren touched on it there. Liam, you haven't renewed his contract yet. Are you getting at all concerned about that situation, or are you not?
I can't tell if that's you lagging or me. I feel like it might.
I think it's him lagging.
I'm lagging.
Someone was lagging there bad.
You're lagging
Probably
for me.
me.
I will say that much. I'll repeat. Musty said, Trent's already booked his plane ticket to Madrid. Are you concerned that Trent might leave next season? Question mark.
No, to be honest. I mean, as much as I want to sit here and say I am, I'm not. I do think he'll stay.
Fast.
I want. So I'm a bit relaxed about that, to be honest. I wanted, obviously, Trent would have been nice to get it done before, but there's a whole year. As long as it's done before January, it's not really that deep. Van Dijk, I'm pretty relaxed about because I think he'll stay if he gets offered one. I think Salah will go. I thought Salah would go before anyway, so I'm just kind of resigned to that now. But yeah, I'm relaxed.
Are you also relaxed, Oren, or are you concerned that his head might get turned, especially if, you know, Liverpool losing some key players next season, i.e. Salah?
Look, I'm not sure if I'm concerned. I'm more worried because you never know what happens as a club. I've supported Liverpool all my life, and I've seen a lot of good players leave for very stupid reasons and just left because the club has moneyballed them or lowballed them a bit. You know, you look at players like Raheem Sterling, for example. I've seen that before. Of course, that is a bit before the Klopp regime and like the Edwards regime has come in. But yeah, you know. But like at the end of the day, Trent's homegrown player. Hopefully, we can keep him because of that. But I'm kind of worried. I wouldn't say I'm like incredibly worried, but I'm kind of worried.
Indeed, the call of Real Madrid is a especially because how old's Carvajal nowadays? I feel like he must be.
I think he's leaving next
He's
year.
old.
Oh,
He's old.
So what you're telling me is that Real Madrid, who are known for, you know, bringing in elite players on free transfers, i.e. Kylian Mbappe.
I know they obviously want him, but
The stars
I just feel like it's going to be enough. They're obviously aligning, yes. I just feel like we've got enough.
Yeah, you know, like if it was like a player who's transferred into us, I would be a bit more worried. But like he's a homegrown player, he's raised in the academy, he lived beside Melwood. Like I'm less worried, but I still am worried. You know.
Yeah, I agree. I just feel like if you look at it from, obviously he might not think the same way, but if I'm to look at it from a Liverpool fan perspective, I feel like the prospect of captain in Liverpool is better than playing for Madrid. That could just be me, but I kind of feel like he might feel the same way. That's my thoughts.
No, that's absolutely reasonable. Phil says, don't worry, Trent will stay, especially when it means more. Brilliant. Jax is very, very convenient. So please give Chris the Discord link, thank you. And DR says, I give it a solid 1 out of 10 window. Conversely, Anthony says, Liverpool as a team, I don't know if that's like or lack creativity. Chiesa is someone they needed.
Lack creativity.
Well, no, he said like creativity, to be fair, so maybe I've misread that.
Yeah, I'm hoping it meant like.
Yeah,
because...
He's put like. I've literally put that word in his mouth. I don't know why I said like.
I see.
He clearly typed like. I'm just an idiot. Apologies. DR says, he also said the Liverpool prospect was better than Real's for duty. But Bellingham clearly just had his heart set on.
Yeah, that's different though.
Madrid,
That's different.
So, yeah, it's like...
They were never going to pay his wages. So that was never going to happen.
Yeah, he just...
I think the second they said we won 130, they were like, yeah, I'm all right. I feel like we just called it quits the second they said that anyway, to be honest.
So
it is what it is.
DR's giving it a 1 out of 10 window. Now, I don't know if he's being serious or if that's just a bit cheeky. Now, it is important to note that you haven't lost anyone, like key. You lost Vandenberg, who's never going to play, and Carvalho, who's never going to play, and Bajcetic, who, as you outlined, needs to develop anyway. So you haven't lost anyone, whereas you have acquired Chiesa. So the squad is clearly stronger than it was. I'm not going to include the keeper because that's another transfer window for another day, I feel like. So I feel you have gotten stronger, but you haven't really addressed your issue. Would you say like a 5 out of 10 is acceptable as a rating?
No, it's worse than that. But the thing is, if you mark it on sales,
altogether,
I would say
yes, altogether.
We've done extremely well selling. Buying. Before the summer, I said I wanted either a left back or a left-sided centre back, and if someone else goes, bring in another centre back. I said obviously everyone wanted a 6, and I thought, yeah, we could probably do with someone else to play on the right. That was we've got one of them in the last 3 days of the window, so it can't be more. It cannot be more than a 4, purely because of that. But I do like the signing or 2 signings we've made, but obviously they're both. If you had offered them me at the start of the season, I would have been very happy with it, but there's a lot more we need, so you can't do it any more than that.
So you've gone for a 4. Are you locking in a 4?
I think I'm going to lock in a 3, to be honest. Call it a 3.5.
Jesus.
I just feel like there's too much we didn't address for it to be anything higher than that.
No, that's the reason. I'm going to come to Oren in a second. Jack says it's just a bit mid, but Chiesa being a bargain bumps it up to a 6. Killian says it's a 4. TVK says 4 out of 10. They needed to improve the squad more than they did. Phil says they needed a left centre back stroke left back, and DR says, who actually agrees with you, Liam. I know you said a 4, didn't you? A new manager, new project. You've signed a wash player instead of young talent. 3 out of 10.
Chiesa's 26. Come on now. He's still like 3 years ago. He was wanted by clubs for like 100 million.
No, he was very
We've got
fun.
him for 10 million. He's had an injury. He's not exactly dropped off. He's still good. He played in one of the most cancerous systems on earth. Look, just give him a chance. He might be really good. Let's just see what happens.
You're not wrong, to be fair. Yeah, like I know that Mo
That's
was
actually
saying.
so true.
Mo was saying the other day that Allegri just did not help him in terms of his development. Like he was playing him.
He was playing
everywhere.
wing back.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a very good point. And that Phil says very fair, Liam. You're being critical, absolutely. And Oren, Liam's gone for a 4. How about yourself?
Yeah, you know what? 5. I think he is a good signing. I think the loans we've done. We loaned Doak, right? Ben Doak. Did we end up loaning him? I swear we did. I think he went to Blackburn.
Middlesbrough.
Oh, okay.
He's gone to
Oh,
Middlesbrough.
Middlesbrough. Yeah. He needed to be loaned out. Very raw prospect. I think he'll come good, but he definitely needed a loan. Bajcetic needed a loan. I personally thought he could have been in the squad, but again, I think he needs to play every single game rather than coming on and off. So I respect that decision. Chiesa is a bargain. we haven't like sold anyone too massive. I think that might be next year. You know, that next year might be devastating, but this year we've been okay. And I think what we're trying to do is we're just trying to figure out like how this. I think Slot's trying to figure out how the squad works, because we have like a good squad, like not title challengers just yet, but I don't think this is the season to challenge for the title. I think this is the season to sort of look at, okay, this is what we got, and this is what we need, because you never know.
No, that is totally reasonable. Killing says, why didn't they get Calafiori? I think he probably would have been ideal, but he obviously went to Arsenal in the end.
I don't think we wanted him.
Oh, did you not? Oh, that surprises me.
I think it's because they were looking at it from we had 6 centre backs at the start of the season. Obviously, 2 of them. No, it's 5 actually. 5 centre backs. We didn't have a left-sided one, but I feel like they wanted to sell Vandenberg and Gomez to bring one in, which I think is stupid, because we're going to be left short when one of them gets injured. Canate, Gomez, you cannot trust them. Also, we didn't replace Matip, but I guess you could call that Quansah. But
Indeed.
yeah, we obviously just didn't want him. There's too many players we had to go that didn't go.
Yeah, no, that is fair. If someone could help Chris access the thing, that would be very helpful. Thank you, guys, if you can.
Nkepe's better anyway. Nkepe from Bayern Leverkusen. We'll sign him next year. Trust. Don't worry.
I don't like.
You don't like him?
No,
I think he's really good.
I don't like him.
Toby says, I put one in this as well, so it's Toby, so hopefully you got that. Answer says, give me a one-legged Chiesa over Darwin noodles or Soboslai. Hello, Tab. Let me know if you want to come on for the United section.
So true. I'm so done with Soboslai.
Call Thiago Pactus. Thank you.
Oh, he would have actually cooked.
Oh. Huh?
Hold on. Can I just say a little thing first about Thiago? He would have actually cooked in this slot system. I wish Slot came a few years before, because he is literally perfect for that deep lane playmaker position. Imagine him, man. I miss Thiago. Anyway, now you can kick me. Sorry about that.
Functioning body.
He would have been good if he didn't have a prosthetic hip.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say.
That might be a bit of a holding point.
True, but like still, I liked watching him play. He was a fun player to watch.
Wonderful stuff. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If there's something you heavily disagree with later, feel free to jump in general and say, oi, you're a swine.
Whatever DR says.
Well, indeed.
I won't be tuning in, but West Ham suck. That's all that needs to be said.
In the meantime, thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you later.
Peace.
Bye. That was Oren and Liam, very good Liverpool fans, of course. Very, very lovely. I'm just conscious of Toby, who said he needs to go to bed, but I do want to get DR in for West Ham, and then I want to talk about Arsenal after, I think. So I'm thinking that if we do a cheeky West Ham and then we head over to Arsenal afterwards, because I'm very interested in talking to an Arsenal fan about Arsenal. But you know, your West Ham have done a lot of business, so if DR, if you could please hop in general chat and we can talk about West Ham situation, who obviously we played today. If you would be able to do that, thank you. All my moderators are here. I feel like every single one of my moderators is here. We just need Monada in the chat, and then all of the mods are kicking off. It's a thing. Where is DR? Where is the West Ham? I want to talk about West. There we go. Hello, DR. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing, mate?
Good, mate. How about you?
Wonderful. Commiserations on the loss today.
No, we battered you second half.
Right, okay, chill. For like 10-15 minutes, you were the better side, and that was it.
No, it was like 40.
Huh?
It was like 40 minutes.
40 minutes in total, are you sure?
Yeah.
Or do you mean from minute 40?
You had 15 minutes with the ball that you literally did nothing with it. You just sat back.
Yeah, but weren't we winning at that point?
Shut up, man. Haaland's shit.
We didn't need to do anything. We were winning. But yeah, there we go. Just doing it at random order, to be honest, Tayab. I say we might not touch every club. It's just people who want to speak. Dia, if you could speak up, please. The chat asking you to speak up. You sound quite muffled as well. I'll turn you up on my end. That sounds a little bit better. But you are quite muffled, just an FYI. Right. You've done bare business. You brought in. I didn't realize you spent all this money. Kilman, like 40 odd million. Somerville, another big sign. Fulkrug, another big sign.
He's class.
Any other signs? If I go to all arrivals, I think you've. Right, yeah, Jesus, wait. Have you brought in 15 players? That can't be right. Oh, end of loan. That's what I was going to say. Like Zuma, the fuck. So you've brought in Fodringham, I guess. Oh, that Guido Rodriguez. He looked a bit stinky today, to be honest. Wan-Bissaka, Gillam.
Fucking best right back in the world, mate.
I thought he was genuinely better at left back today. Genuinely better at left back. I don't know what was going on there. Fulkrug.
I think that was because you subbed off both of your wingers, mate.
Probably, yeah. And then obviously you sold Ben Rama, Flynn Downs. Have you sold anyone else? Anyone else major?
There was like a lot of loans.
Yeah, a lot of free transfers as well.
Edward, Zuma.
Oh yeah, Ward-Prowse. Oh, yeah, of course. What, as a West Ham fan, realistic, because you've got a very good attack, and we saw that today. Kudus is fantastic. What is your ceiling for this season? What are your hopes based on your transfer activity? Because I say you've done quite a lot of business there.
First of all, finishing above Liverpool, that's a must.
You're finishing above Liverpool?
Yeah, they're finishing 6th, mate.
So you're finishing higher than 6th?
Yeah, definitely.
So where
Have you seen us today, mate? We absolutely battered you.
Where are Spurs finishing?
3rd. I'm not sure, but I think like 5th.
Right, where are United finishing?
7th.
Where are Chelsea finishing?
More below that, mate.
Where are Villa finishing?
No, Villa finished, mate. They're shit. Like 15th.
15th?
Yeah, they're proper shit. No Watkins. Watkins like had 20 goals, and he's shit now. Like, what are they gonna get the goals from?
Yeah, I can't back this. I can't lie. So you genuinely think you can finish 6th? Sorry, no, you said 5th, didn't you?
No, 4th.
What?
In UCL. I said, who was it? Tottenham 5th.
You're finishing 4th?
Yeah.
In what planet?
Did you see us today, mate?
Yeah, you got fucking pumped in the first half. It should have been 4-0.
I was signing because we didn't play over our signings, mate. We conceded like 2 goals because of that bum Mavropanos, and we're replacing him with the best centre back of all time, Todibo.
Right. Right. So you think you can get Champions League football?
Yeah, if Villa got Champions League football last year, we can do that.
Oh, okay. That is mad. Are you right? Realistically, that's not going to happen, is it? So, are you concerned?
Whoa.
What?
It is happening.
Okay.
Realistic.
Realistically, that's not happening, is it? So, what are you going to do when, or rather, what are your sort of hopes that you can keep hold of, Paquetá, Kudus, all these like very fun players when a bigger boy comes sniffing? Do you think that you can convince them to stay, or is it like a matter of time and then you have to replace them? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it depends. I think we can keep Paquetá because of the betting scandal.
Yeah.
I don't think most clubs would want to be like associated with that. And he loves West Ham anyway. Kudus is like setting the stars for Liverpool to replace Salah. Like, that's just sat there. He's got a release clause and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But we've already got a replacement for him, Somerville. So we're calm.
Do you see Kudus as a left-sided player or a right-sided player? Primarily.
He can play both.
I know he can play both, but which do you prefer?
And then he switched right at the end of the game.
Which do you prefer him on, though, left or right?
I think I prefer on the right this because of the link up with Wan-Bissaka. I don't think Emerson likes to pass to the winger. He likes to attack it himself. That's why he didn't really get the ball much in the first half.
Mochi says, true, if Paquetá didn't have the scandal, he's already at City. You're not wrong, to be fair. You're not wrong. Kuz will end up at Arsenal, says Mochi. So that would, yeah, we were talking about it earlier. Maybe not necessarily.
Arsenal, he's not moving to that shit club.
Maybe not necessarily the profile of winger that they would need, but that definitely would be a massive improvement, you'd think. Oh yeah, this is a good point from Musty. You know, Di just said, "Yeah, we battered you." This is literally you on the watch along earlier, Musty, quoting Dr from when the first half ended. Quote: "I am having suicidal thoughts." So that doesn't equate to a battering to me.
You were proper stinky first half, like proper stinky.
Yeah.
But then you know the tactical Lopetegui met souls in the changing, mate, and we look very good. So I believe in him.
No, yeah, I
He's
agree.
got that Unai Emery aura.
Unai Emery aura. No, I agree. For like 15 to 20 minutes, you were much the better side. But yeah, you should have already been 2 or 3 goals down by that point. But there we go.
I mean, Pep was proper scared. You know, he had to bring in 2 midfielders just to stabilize the game.
That's City for you. We do shit. We do shit like that. West Ham for 80 million euros for Flynn Downs. Crikey, says Tayeb. Yeah, they sold him to Southampton. Who's going to be your star signing? Who's going to be your best acquisition this summer then, dear? This season.
Oh, well, I think Todibo is going to be the best player, but the best deal will be Wan-Bissaka.
Why do you think that?
Because he's been amazing so far. I think he's just improved attacking. Like, he was so good today at attacking. Like, he looked so comfortable on the ball. I don't know what's happened between last season, but every time he gets the ball, he looks like he wants to drive forward. He doesn't just want to go pass it back. And that's a plus. But if he passes it back, we have centre backs that can pass like to the midfield, like Todibo and Kilman.
No, yeah. I genuinely, I've got a lot of criticisms of Wan-Bissaka, but genuinely, going forwards, I totally agree. He was really good today going forwards. Like, that moment in particular, he picks up off the left and dribbled past 2 players. I was like, what's going on? To be fair, if memory serves, I think he played in a similar offensive way in the FA Cup final, I think. Or it was a recent United City game. I can't remember the exact game. It was one of them recently. I was like, what's going on here? But yeah, that's...
Oh yeah, the one that he pocketed Doku, mate. Do you mean that one?
Maybe. There was definitely one where he was very impressive, that's for sure. Ansi says, how many points will West Ham take from last season's top 6 this season? That's a fun question. How many points do you take? Yes, so you're obviously not taking any points off City because you're not getting anything that the Etihad. Are you going to take any points off Liverpool or Arsenal for us? Are you going to do us a favour, DR? You know, West Ham normally do.
I think we can take a loss against Arsenal and then a draw at our stadium. Liverpool are shit. So yeah, but 6 points. Tottenham were just like, it's just a derby. So anything can happen. So the rest of the clubs, yeah, 6 points. Easy.
Liverpool aren't shit, DR.
Well, they are. They've played what? Ipswich and Brentford. Of course, they've looked good.
Yeah, but
fucking Fulham could look good against those teams.
Yeah, but the team is also the squad is as good as it was last season when they finished 3rd and were very good.
Is it? It's not. I mean, their DM is Gravenberch. It's Gravenberch.
He's looked all right so far.
Yeah, because look, have you seen who they played, mate? Ben Johnson at Ipswich, and then fucking Mbuemo at Fulham, at Brentford. These are not good players that can expose them.
Rate your
What's Gravenberch gonna do against Paquetá, mate?
Rate your window out of 10, DI. You've brought in some really interesting players who need to be amalgamated into the side. Chat as well. What are we giving this out of 10? For context, I think that we established that Liverpool's was like a 4 or 5 out of 10. This is obviously a better window. You haven't lost anyone major, have you? I know you've lost like a couple of names, but really, in the grand scheme of things, you haven't lost anyone major, have you?
No.
No, yeah. What are we thinking, guys? And yeah, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking 9 out of 10 because Fulkrug look shaky. He's not look good, and we haven't sold some shite players like Duchek. But that's about it.
9. To be fair, Killing's gone for a 9. Anthony a 7. Musty a 7 to an 8. I think 8 is the absolute highest I would go. I think it is worth Oren as well. To be fair, look.
For example, this guy didn't know Todibo existed until like he just opened the window.
Who, me?
He just saw what Todibo looked like.
Oh, respect Nice. Respect Nice.
When was the last time you watched it? Non-Premier League game.
Don't worry about that. It's fine. Yeah, Tayab, I give it an 8. Halves, an 8 or a 9. Phil, 7. Oren says good signs, but the manager is mid. Well, to be fair, we could even include bringing in Lopetegui as the manager. We could technically include that as a transfer. Although, to be fair, they have to do slot, and then we have to change.
Did you see Pep hug Lopetegui? It's like his twin brother, mate.
Yeah, let's not include managers, actually, just because that'll confuse me. All I would say is that you've done a lot, but a lot of business isn't necessarily the same as good business. I'm not saying it's not good business, but you know what I mean. You've done a lot, you've bought a lot, but that doesn't. But the mere act of buying doesn't make it inherently brilliant. So that's why I'd be reluctant to go higher than an 8. I'm thinking, like what Musa said, a 7 to an. You know, if we're introducing decimals, I'd go for like a 7.5, maybe an 8 is a push.
I think a lot of players could be bad if they're all gonna start. But I think most of the players we bought are for bench. Like Somerville, for example, or like a Gol Herme from Brazil. He's sitting in the reserves. Like, these are not players that are just going to go and start and then maybe not have the link up. Like, today we started most of our players from last season, except like Wan-Bissaka and Kilman.
Indeed. No,
So it's not going to change up the core, but it's just going to add to it.
Indeed. Well, there we go, DR. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for hopping on the stream to chat about your club. And I'll see you in the chat later, yeah?
Alright, tell him he's a bum.
You can tell him in the chat. Okay, he's gone, okay. That was DR, West Ham fan, incredibly optimistic. 4th, I think he settled on, did he? I had to do like a double take when he said that. I was like, what? Is Toby here? I want to talk about Arsenal. I know Toby was here in the chat earlier. Is he here now? Is he here now? Because I want to talk about Arsenal, I feel like. If he isn't here for whatever reason, could someone like ping him in the Discord or something just to see if he can do that? Because I do want to chat about that. No worries at all, Chris. All good. You should just be able to like verify yourself in the verify channel and then just like join the thing. I can see you haven't verified yourself yet. So there should just be like a channel called verify, which you click in at the top. And then you just like follow the online capture thing. It should work. Yeah, Chris, don't worry. We'll figure it out. We'll get it sorted. Where is Toby to talk about the arse? Good work, Musty and Jack. The Arsenal. I'll bloody do it if you're not careful. Don't make it so that I'm talking about your club, yeah? You wouldn't like that. Or we could talk about Arsenal Football Club. No. The Arsenal. Let's have a look at their business. Which again, this is what I'd like to talk about. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, technically Raya's a signing. Technically. Because it was like a loan of an obligation bullshit, wasn't it? So this is arrivals, is it? Yeah, so it's just those players. That's fine. Toby may have abandoned me. He may not be joining. Guys, do this immediately if Mole's here skin. If he's not here, it's fine. I will talk about Arsenal. Because I feel like we need to talk about Arsenal. I would have liked an Arsenal fan to have, but Toby's let me down. Very, very briefly, Jack. I'd rather you mainly focus on Southampton, I guess, but you can very briefly touch on them. I don't feel like we need to touch on all clubs, to be fair. Just like the main ones other people want to talk about, for sure. Arsenal. Hey guys, feel free to rank it straight out the gate if you want to, and I'll have a chat about it. Very wishy-washy transfers, says Anthony. Phil says 5 out of 10. No striker, no squad depth for Saka or Ødegaard. Killian says a 6. Yeah, now in terms of their departures, they've got rid of... They haven't really lost anyone, like, major, have they? Realistically. They've got rid of Nelson. I know it's like a loan, whatever. They've got rid of Nelson. So basically, they've done a swap for Nelson Sterling. Sterling is the Nelson replacement, let's say. They've got rid of Fabio Vieira and brought in Moreno. Okay? That's like the straight swap there. And then he's gone out. He barely played last year anyway. I think they brought Neto, haven't they? So, therefore, in terms of net, they need to replace Smith Rowe and Nketiah. Now, you could argue that Nwaneri is like the Smith Rowe replacement, so you could say they actually technically don't need to replace him in that respect. And they've brought in a bonus. I mean, Calafiori may as well be reviewed as like the Tomiyasu replacement, because Tomiyasu is going to miss like loads of the season or something. So you can say that as that. But certainly from an offensive standpoint, because again, we've worked that out as net. They've lost Nketiah, they've sold Nketiah, and they haven't done anything to replace him. I know he didn't play a lot last season, but it was still a decent amount of minutes. It's still a decent amount of minutes that someone else will have to play, and especially if Jesus is out, it makes it even more tricky and complicated. So offensively, they're technically down, aren't they? Because they've lost a striker, they didn't sign a striker. You could say that they signed a winger who can play through the middle, but Sterling through the middle is stinky hours, to be honest. I'm a big Sterling fan, as you guys know, but central Sterling is stinky. Backup goalkeeper, whatever. Oren says it's okay, the squad is as good as it can be. Weird hit and hope policy, says Anthony. Defensively, they have gotten better. Because Calafiori is better than Kiwior, is better than Zinchenko, is better than Tomiyasu, who is always fucking injured, right? So that's fine. That's fine. Calafiori, nice signing. Moreno, and I touched on this in the post-mortem. He feels like he's a good signing, but that's about where it ends. He's not going to raise their ceiling, move the needle. And I know I've not watched enough of Moreno to fully comment on him. I know I shouldn't just use price tags, but ceiling raising midfielders at the elite level do not cost £30 million. They cost like 60, 70, 80 million pounds plus in 2024. So this is not a player who's going to transform or revolutionise Arsenal's midfield from a quality perspective. It might do something from a perspective of you play Moreno slightly more advanced, not a world beater exactly must. You play him slightly more advanced. Does that mean that Rice can now play deeper? Does that therefore provide a better midfield dynamic? Is that in itself transformative enough? Maybe. But from an individual perspective, no. It's not enough, to be honest. Ansi says there's not one consistent goal scorer in the team except Trossard, who's not a 90 minutes player. It just seems to me that they've not done enough. They have improved. They've definitely gotten better defensively, because, again, if we're looking at it as Calafiori instead of Zinchenko, that's an immediate defensive upgrade. Raheem Sterling is good depth out wide. You know, if like if Saka needs a rest or Martinelli needs a rest. But Sterling's not a starter. So is that Chris?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can. Hello, mate.
Absolutely brilliant. So it took me quite a long time to get here, but hey, we're here. My question is obviously I live like around the northwest area, and people at the start of the season, a lot of people say like, "Oh, City, they're weaker than last season." and then and then the season carries on, and then they're a little bit like near the top. Arsenal might do it this season, Liverpool might do it this season, and then it goes back around till probably it hits about February, and then next minute, City are at the top of the league. How long do you see that happening now? Obviously, you've done it for a long time. I can see 5 in a row, but is there going to be a time under Pep where that won't happen anymore? I don't know how to ask that. Maybe I've asked that wrong. That will Pep ever not win the league?
Great question. Hello. First of all, lovely to meet you, Chris. Thank you for coming on the channel. Well, let's pivot. We'll come back to Arsenal. Let's just briefly pivot to Manchester City for a moment, and we can take a look at their transfer activity, and maybe we can use that to help answer the question. Tune into Lisa's slot streams for exciting gameplay. I don't think so, Lisa. High Five Casino, please go away. Thank you. So, I mean, I don't know what's going to be the long-term future for Pep, to be honest, because there's a lot of talk that this might be his final season, to be honest. But in terms of this season specifically, and as I say, it's where we can pivot to City's transfer window, this has been and I want the chat to get involved as well, this has been a very, very, very good window from a Manchester City perspective. Last season, 100%. We needed a Gundogan replacement. So what do? We get the best short-term Gundogan replacement there is. It's Gundogan. Last season, we had no right-sided presence in terms of going forwards. So what do? We bring in Savio, who's one of the most exciting right-wing talents and prospects in the world. He's 20 years old. Those are 2 key areas. Lisa, in your slot streams, keep us off. Those are 2 key areas that City needed to address, and they have literally addressed them basically perfectly. In terms of outgoings, we sold Alvarez for a big fat fee, and last season he was causing issues in the midfield. We sold Phillips, obviously, Cancelo, who's always causing dressing room issues. Musa says this is a very good setup for next summer window as well. So honestly, I couldn't be much happier with City's window. The only way I would be happier with the window is if we probably signed, as much as I love the fact that Gundogan's back, signed a long-term Gundogan replacement. Like whether that's Bruno Guimaraes, whether that's Wharton, or whoever. But the reality is that we've got the best short-term one. So in terms of this season, to answer your question, Chris, in a very long-winded way, I agree with you. It should be 5 in a row. It really should. Because we clearly have, in my opinion, the best squad. We've obviously got the best manager. We've addressed the squad balance issues from last season. We actually have Rodri cover now. We've discovered our right side. We saw today, we're now playing to Haaland's strengths and De Bruyne's strengths, and we've still got Rodri and Foden to come back into the team.
Absolutely.
So in my view, it should just be a slam dunk, and as you say, 5 in a row. And Anthony says we have the same squad depth from the treble season without Alvarez. Savio being a Mahrez-like replacement. Absolutely. So that's my take on the situation, Chris. What are your thoughts on that, though?
I think people are sleeping on Rico. Well, not sleeping on it. Obviously, you as City fans. But when I watch for that Rico Lewis, he is a baller. That guy is a baller. He is an absolute massive baller. And I know Kyle Walker, he's got the pace. He can run at the speed of a Jaguar or a Cheetah or whatever. But age does come to the fact we all know that, don't we? So I think that Rico, honestly, I think he's going to be a baller. But that Savino, my goodness gracious. He could be something dangerous. And also, did Mahrez not tweet about him on Twitter?
He did.
Did he not say like, oh, is that me? But, younger. Yeah, so it's going to be an exciting season for you lot. While we rot in League One, my friend, you'll be dominating the league, unfortunately. But my God, it's a good time to be alive, to be a City fan.
The Bolton will be back, don't you worry. It'll rekindle the glory days of pre-2012 when you got relegated. And bring back Chris Eagles
whatever
and
you're
all that.
smoking out of that, please.
I do keep up with Bolton because I say my uncle is a Bolton fan. Of course, like Bolton being another great Manchester team.
Can I just one final question?
Of course.
would you, City fans, do you take the Carabao, what's it called, that Carabao, whatever
yeah,
it's
the
called?
League Cup, yeah.
Do you take that seriously, or do you just focus on the FA Cup, the Premier League, and the Champions League? Do you really care about that cup?
I do, but that's because I'm greedy and I like the opportunity to win trophies because I'm always looking at I always want to win the Community Shields. I know it's not it's like a Super Cup or whatever, but because I'm looking at that overall trophy tally and I'm looking at the fact that City are getting closer and closer to the big dogs. And if you look at like United's trophy haul, for example, I'm not having to go with it, but it's just the reality that a lot of that, and Arsenal's to be fair, a lot of that is propped up, with things like the League Cup and the Community Shield.
Yeah.
So they're just like nice little things to add to the haul, and it's fun. Obviously, it's the least important of the trophy, like the knockouts, but and I wouldn't be happy just winning that on its own. But it's a really nice, it's a very privileged position to be in. Of course, it's a really nice sort of like addition to a league title win or whatever. It's like we won this, and it's like a nice little bonus. We did the cup, we did like the double of league and FA Cup or whatever. And Musty, who is a City fan, says, "I'm happy if we win it, not really fussed if we don't." Yeah, if we get knocked out, I'm like, so whatever, I'll move on. But of course, I want to win it, and I do want us to take it seriously, of course, yeah. Yeah. Of course.
Well, the thing is with the City fans, you're going to, at one point in this season, you're going to end up at Wembley. We don't know which cup you're in, but you'll always end up at Wembley. Yeah. You might as well call that, like you said, the Etihad South. You might as well just call it that, because. Well, anyway, right, I'll leave the space here for somebody else, but I really do hope 5 in a row. I really do hope it, because when you pull United's pants down for the last 10 years, what you've done, it's brilliant, because obviously we're not in the league yet. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. So God bless you. Good luck, and take care, Blues.
Thank you so much for joining us, Chris. Lovely meeting you, matey. Brilliant stuff. Lovely. What a lovely man. I've never met Chris before ever. Never spoken to him on stream before ever. I think it's his first time in the chat today. What a lovely man. Really fun. Love his accent as well. Fabulous. Hello, Justin. Except for Southampton game. Oh yeah, that was such an annoying game. I think Bree said it. Yeah. Plus we won the net spend trophy. Yeah. Look at this. Look, I don't think this will actually count all our sales because this doesn't count the academy. To be fair. Yeah, this doesn't count the academy, but in terms of like from the first team, Alvarez, boom. Cancelo, boom. Howard Bellis, obligation from Southampton, boom. Sergio Gomez, boom. Tommy Doyle, Yankuto, getting a loan fee from that apparently, which is great. Calvin Phillips, you'd imagine you've got some wages off there. Peroni's, hopefully some experience. And in addition, all those youth players. I can't, if people can recall, who are the youth players that we've sold? Oh my God, Lisa! Leave me alone! What is happening? Go away! It was really weird. What youth players have we sold again? Can people please refresh my memory? Why am I struggling to forget? Doyle, Kuto, but that was just alone. We definitely sold lots of people. Howard Bellis. Who else? There's loads of people. Basically, this season, what am I saying? City, I've literally, Bree said it, we've literally won the net spend trophy, which is crazy. Oh, to lap, yes, good. We've literally, that's ridiculous. In fact, over the past 5 years, we are still one of the best in respect of net spend, or the lowest in respect of net spend. Of course, a lot of that comes from the academy, but I mean, hey, it's a good news. Our academy is very good, and it attracts big clubs who want to buy our players. Like Lavia was a big fee. Click all departures. No, but that just tells me, because I've done it before. City's youth has a different one. It's either from the under 23s or, in fact, if I do if I go to the youth, so would it be under 21? Here we go. Total market. Oh, that's market value though. Lisa, keep piss off. Let's have a look at the under 21s momentarily. Right, here we go. There'll be some here. Hamilton, of course. Have a look at this. So Delap, 15 million. Hamilton, like 5 million. Robertson, 1 million. Kane, Fiorini, I haven't even heard of these people. Apologies, lads. Yeah, there's like 1 million collective there. And that's only some. If I go to the other Manchester City, there might be even more. If I go to the... or maybe it'll be in youth, actually. Let's have a look. Yeah, it might be in youth, because I'm sure there's other people. Unless Transfermarkt just doesn't have it all. Yeah, Transfermarkt doesn't have it all. But yeah, we've sold bare people, basically, is what I'm saying. We haven't got a worse net spend. It's irrelevant if you sell 3... Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, City doing bits. Rate this window, lads. I mean, considering... I think it's a 10. No, it can't be perfect. It's not a perfect window. A perfect window would be like bringing in like a long-term Gundogan replacement and selling Calvin Phillips, wouldn't it? It's not perfect. It's a 9. It's a strong 9 though, definitely, because you've also got to consider the outgoings, where we have literally made more money, made more sales than anyone in the entire league. We've actually, in terms of gross, we've only spent like 20, 30 million quid for Savio and Gundogan. 30 million British pounds gets you Savio and Gundogan. Mental. We've addressed the issues. Absolutely. Now we're letting the striker option, says Anthony. Get rid of Helter. Getting rid of Walker, we've made it a 10. Killing says no right back, but and as Musa says, we do have Rico and Walker and Akanji. And Stones can even play there. So I think that is a lovely time to be had by all. A lovely time to be had by all. And that's the Man City situation. I'm just going to very briefly go back to Arsenal, just to finish off my point before we had our lovely conversation with Chris. Is indeed Walker. But you can still do it. Walker as a squad player is fine. My issue with Walker isn't that he's a shit player or whatever. My issue last season was he was starting every single game. And it was maddening. It was maddening. Yes, going back to Arsenal for a second. In my opinion, they haven't done enough. It's not a bad window, obviously. They've brought in... Their defence is now better. Their midfield is now better. You could even say their attack is better, technically. But it's certainly not enough, in my opinion, to close the gap, which was already quite significant with City's squad. Again, I'll repeat, Arsenal last season were... That was like... They got the most wins in their Premier League history. They're only 1 point behind the Invincibles, etc. So it's one of their best seasons in at least the past 2 decades. Conversely, as City fans, we can all accept that City had a relative off season last year, and when they still weren't as good as us. So I'm assuming we're only going to get better naturally, and we've gotten better because of the players we brought in and the players we sold. And Arsenal haven't done enough. Most has given them a 5. I'm going to go 6. I feel like I can't go higher than 6 because the players are good. I say Calafiori, from what I've seen of him, is a really fun player. I know Sterling can do a job. I'm not counting Raya. But yeah, it's pretty underwhelming. If you're an Arsenal fan, it's pretty underwhelming. Like, you know, Rory on like a Mo's show, he was like visibly and vocally annoyed because he was like, well, we need that forward and we haven't got it. If they got in like a Nico Williams, let's say, that pushes up to like an 8 or a 9. Because that is the difference maker for the Arsenal. Elder says 4. Killian says 6. Yeah. It's a thing. I'm joined now by a Southampton fan and City fan. But he's going to be joining me for the Southampton section. Jack, hello.
Hello, mate.
How are you? I can hear you.
I am pretty good, mate.
Wonderful. Are you ready to talk about Southampton, who are probably going to get relegated?
That bit wasn't necessary.
Am
yeah,
I
sure.
incorrect?
Absolutely not, but it wasn't necessary.
No, sure. Well, first of all, let's have a look at the positives and have a look at your arrivals. So, Harwood Bellis is technically a signing, but you obviously had him last season. Now, there are some really interesting names here, of which of course, you signed FM legend, Ronnie Evans, Ryan Fraser on a free transfer.
Ronnie Evans?
Ronnie Edwards.
That's Liam Burns' schoolmate you're talking about.
It is, yeah, and an FM legend, of course.
Yeah.
Lala, again, didn't realize you brought back Lalana. Yeah, Ryan Fraser.
Neither did I.
Ben Brereton Diaz.
He's shit, mate. Oh my god.
Okay. Cameron Archer from Villa. That's probably a decent one. Flynn Downs, I know DR liked him. And Ramsdale's, I guess, the biggest name. So talk me through these players, Jack. Are you happy? Are you sad?
It's a bit mixed. I think Aaron Ramsdale would easily be one of the signings of the window if he didn't have Jan Bednarek in front of him. Like, it's a European quality goalkeeper with a championship level defence in front of him. It's not.
What about
I feel
Harwood
bad.
Bellis?
He's not proven yet at this level. I don't want to assume anything too early. He's not proven yet.
No.
I'm very happy with Flynn Downs coming back. He was one of like the necessities. We needed to get him back.
Why is that?
I think he's fucking brilliant, mate. Oh my god. I called him Championship Rodri for a reason. We didn't win games when he wasn't in the squad. This Mateus Fernandez, I can't say I'd ever heard of him, but he looks really promising.
Yeah, looks fun.
Hopefully we can get Smallbone at the starting 11 and get him in.
Musty raises a good point. Sorry to interject, Jack, because I didn't realise that you loaned Ugo Chukwu.
Ugo Chukwu.
I had no idea that you loaned him.
We did that quite late, to be fair.
That's exciting, isn't it?
If he plays, it is.
What?
He looked all right against Cardiff, but that's Cardiff.
Respect Harv's team.
I can't say I'd watched much of him before then, but hopefully he can fill the void that Lavia left.
Of course. Shout out Lavia. Shout out Southampton for just buying all of City's academy players, by the way, and just like making us win the Netspend trophy, to be fair as well. Like, I don't know what the obsession is, but I rate it. Wait, Shay Charles, he sent him out on loan. Oi, you only bought him last year?
He didn't get enough game time, I don't think. And the game time he did get, he didn't really do enough with. So I think alone is good for him, to be fair.
That's reasonable. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not happy we didn't keep Stuart Armstrong. I really liked him.
Where's he gone?
Transfer market says he don't have a club.
Oh.
I think he had like a trial with Brentford. I've definitely seen him in a Brentford kit. So I don't know what's going on there.
That is a weird one.
Che Adams leaving. I prayed for times like this.
Not a fan.
Oh, mate, don't get me started. This useless fat mong is the bane of my fucking existence. I can't. Oh
my god. Yeah. I mean, he's gone to Torino. You know, shout out them, I guess. So you've obviously, I'm guessing Cameron Archer is his direct like-for-like replacement, centre forward for centre forward.
It would seem that way. He's another one who should probably be starting. I love Adam Armstrong, but he isn't good enough for the Premier League. So I would like to see Archer and I guess Brereton Diaz. Oh, actually, no, I don't want to see that. Why are we playing a back five? Get Jack Stevens out of the fucking team. Oh my god.
Ramsdale, obviously, is the biggest name, as you say. Is he going to be good enough to keep you up? Because obviously, you're going to be fighting for survival, I think that's fair to say. Is he good enough to keep you up, or is this going to be a Bournemouth situation where he gets relegated again?
I think I said it at the start. I think had we not had, had he not had probably the worst defense in the league in front of him, yes, because he's a very good goalkeeper, isn't he?
He is.
He played against Brentford today, and he looked fine. I don't think he was at fault for any of the goals, which is already an improvement because Alex McCarthy, no. Don't want to ever see him again.
So, like, let's live in optimistic land then. Realistically, the highest you're going to finish is 17th. Is that fair?
That is a stretch. I can't lie. From what I've seen, 17th is like the most optimistic I could be right now.
Indeed. So, well, let's live in that world for a second. Who's getting relegated instead of you? Would you say Leicester, Ipswich, and maybe Everton because of point deductions?
Hold on. What is the? Hold on, wait. Let me look at the table right now.
Oh, currently, you, Palace, and Everton are on 0 points, nil points.
Cheers, mate.
At least you don't have the worst goal difference.
We've not. I was about to say we've not scored, but
You got one.
oh, I need to talk about Yukinari Sugawara. He is the one hope I actually have for this team.
And who is he? Sorry.
He's a Japanese right back. He's looked so good in these few games. He's got a dangerous little cross on him. I really hope he stays fit and does well, and we learn how to put the ball in the fucking net.
So would it be those three teams then? Ipswich, Leicester, or would you have, because like Musty's got Forest going down, for example?
I think Forest will be fine. Chris Wood is a world-class striker.
Of course.
Everton look pretty awful. How do you blow a 2-goal lead against Bournemouth?
Yeah, and again, they might be getting a double whammy of point deductions as well, mightn't they? So that
again,
I'm pretty sure. If someone can confirm that for me, I'm pretty confident Everton are, or is it Leicester who are getting two? And I'm sure.
I thought it was Leicester.
I think it might.
I know Leicester were getting one.
It might be both.
Or two, or however many.
It might be both. I'm not 100%. I feel like that is a thing though. If anyone wants to confirm that point for me, they absolutely can do. I'm pretty sure. Or there are rumours anyway. Like, it's not guaranteed, but.
Yeah, I think from what I've seen, Everton, I'm quite comfortable saying they're going down. Ipswich, I don't actually know. I don't know how bad Leicester's point deduction will be, but I think they might be all right.
Really? Because they've obviously lost their manager and their best player.
I think Fulham are fucking rubbish, mate. Who do they even have?
I came out of nowhere. The Fulham hate.
Well, like, who's their best player? Raul Jimenez.
No. Would you say? I like Pereira. I think he's a good player.
He was good, like maybe 2 years ago.
Robinson's all right.
If your best player is your left back, I think that says a lot.
Fairs.
Which is why we're also going down, because our best players are fucking right back.
Michael says Leicester are definitely getting a point deduction. Half says Leicester are getting what's at least one. Yeah, it might even be two, as I say. I'm pretty sure Everton are getting one, but as I said, I need to confirm that point. I might sneeze. Am I going to sneeze? I'm not going to sneeze. That's fine. I'm going to always say goodness me. So, I know that Southampton's starting point is obviously low. But in terms of in a vacuum, your business, I think it's been quite good.
As a window, I'm not too upset about it. I think it does seem a lot more like we are building a championship super team than a team that will keep us in the Premier League. Which it's not really ideal.
No. Especially because it's impossible to defend the championship title. So it's like...
Exactly.
You get me. So you try and do something which has never been done before, maybe. I don't even know that. But with all that,
There's a first for everything.
but with all that said and done, then Jack, how would you rate it? I think it's at least a 7.
I think I'd agree.
Hmm.
I would have maybe liked a few more players to leave,
Sure.
but I think as a whole, I'm okay with what we've done.
Can you put a number to that?
What, like an out of 10?
Indeed.
Probably like a 7.
Yeah. Musty says 7 as well. Chris says 2. That's outrageous, Chris. Come on.
Mate, Chris is getting banned.
Shout out Chris. He's my
No,
absolute
not Chris
boy.
Jenks. He's cool.
No,
He
yeah.
can
Oh, no,
stay.
yeah. It's Chris Jenks. Yeah, yeah. We all like Chris. You've made everyone like you immediately, Chris, which is not easily done. So shout out to you, my mate. There we go. Amazing stuff. Half says 5 or a 6. Don't think they've strengthened enough. And to be fair, like when you are Southampton, I mean the Premier League is this massive cliche, but the Premier League is strong. I feel like down the lower end of things, or like in the mid-table, it's pretty strong. Last season, all 3 promoted sides went down. I don't think that's a coincidence. It wouldn't surprise me if all 3 promoted sides went down again, by any external point deductions. So it's no shame for Southampton to get relegated, of course. But yeah, Jack.
It just depends how we get relegated. I think I'm already like very settled on the fact we're going back down.
Right.
But from what I've seen, I genuinely think Derby's record is in danger.
What Southampton?
Yeah, from what I've seen so far.
Derby's record was 8.
Was it 11? I thought it was 11.
No, you're right, 11.
Yeah, from what I've seen these 3 games, that record is in danger.
Okay.
Because it's been quite bad.
Sure. Well, hopefully for your sake, Ramsdale can come up with the goods, but it will obviously be scoring goals that will probably be the ultimate issue, as it always is with these newly promoted sides in the main. And your half says the gap is huge between Prem and Championship. It's hard to get a good window, and most of it's keeping place. Yeah, absolutely. He had on loan. You're going to go back down, indeed. And that's always the FM, the football manager curse as well. Village says give Southampton a 4. I think that's harsh, as I said. I think again,
2-1 Village, mate.
I'm not being funny. Ramsdale is too good for Southampton. That's not a diss. It's just the reality. Ramsdale is not. I don't think he's good enough to win a title with Arsenal, but he's not bad enough whereby he should be in a team fighting relegation. Like he should be at a, like a sort of like Europa League, Conference League level of club. So that's a good signing there. Hey Jack, thank you so much for joining me.
That's all right, mate.
No worries at all, and I'll see you in the chat, my mate.
No, you won't.
Oh, fair. There we go. Fair enough, reasonable. Yes, we are going to talk about Chelsea. Sadly, I don't have a Chelsea fan to talk to it with and about, but that's a very musty. That is a brilliant one. The hell? Why is it giving me Bobby Moore? Fuck. The fuck. I guess we could very, very briefly just touch on Manchester United. Again, I wanted to spend a little bit more time on Chelsea. That's all. So yeah, let's very briefly do United, and then we'll do Chelsea, and I think we'll wrap it up. I've enjoyed this stream. It must be said. I do like chatting to you guys. Ipswich, where are they finishing halves? I was very briefly touching United because I've actually forgotten. Right. I think United have done very good for sales in terms of getting rid of some dead wood. McTominay is a decent squad player, but he shouldn't be starting. Less said about him, the better. Wan-Bissaka, again, he's not good enough to be where United want to be. Oh, we did Liverpool at the start, Michael. If you want to go watch the start, Michael, I had 2 Liverpool fans on and we chatted about it. So feel free to go back and do that. Willy Camboala, again, youth player, 10 minutes, fine. Hannibal, yeah, shit, that's fine. Plestri, shit, that's fine. Chris, thank you so much for becoming a member. You are just really endearing yourself to this channel. Thank you so much, you beautiful man. There you go. You're now a member of the Ultras Club. We love that. And you got a random player, and your random player is Juan Fran. Thank you so much, Chris, for becoming an Albino Ultra. As I say, welcome to the Ultras Club. Thank you so much. Yes, there we go, Chris. Love that. Big up the Bolton. Big up the Wanderers, guys. Big them up. Oh, yeah, Palestri shit. Van Beek, done. Yeah, that's it. Oh, yeah, Sancho's gone. Yeah, whatever. So there's some dead wood gone. They could have got rid of a bit more, but they did get rid of quite a bit of it, in fairness. Incomings. Now. They've signed some really interesting players, in fairness. Let's just briefly touch on them. Sancho's gone. Okay, 5, so we can go there. It's early days, of course. Mazraoui is good. I like him. When I was doing my City right back video, or when I was considering a right back for City rather, I was considering Mazraoui because I think he's a really good player. His performances have demonstrated that. Really good. I've loved what I've seen of Xerxes so far. I think that he has the potential to unlock Rashford a little bit more because he's more of a facilitator forward. Interesting signing. I think he and Rashford will probably do better than Rashford and Højlund, to be honest. Lay Euro it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, but they need a centre-back to replace Varane. Real Madrid wanted him, so that's probably a good sign. Mateus de Ligt, the jury's out for me. I'd be interested to see how he performs. I'm willing to reserve judgment on that. Ugarte, this I feel like was the main position for United this season. Defensive midfield, the 6, whatever. Because Casemiro, I know he started. Lisa, fuck off. Because I'm gonna end everything. I swear down. Yeah, because Casemiro, I know he started the season well, but Casemiro's Casemiro. Mainu needs a proper partner. It's probably an overpayment, but one of United's biggest issues is covering space, big space in transition, and Ugarte can apparently do that. So I guess it's fine. I think it's an alright window. Yes, Chris, exactly. I think it's an okay window. I'd probably give it like a 6 or a 7 maybe. No, 6 is too harsh. No, I'd give it a 7 or an 8 actually. Because the centre-back depth is good. I say that I am considering the sales as well, and they have got rid of a lot of dead wood. I like Mazraoui. I like Xerxes. I've not seen enough of Euro or de Ligt. Don't know how I feel about Ugarte as that midfield player. Maximum, absolute max, it's an 8. I think it's probably closer to a 7. But then again, you consider the outgoings, maybe it does rock it up to an 8. Have they done enough for top 4? I don't think so, says Anthony. I agree, Anthony. I'd be staggered if that team got 4th place. The top 3 is locked down. It's City, Arsenal, Liverpool in some sort of order they're in. So it's the battle for 4th place. And in that battle, you've got United, and you've got Chelsea, and you've got Spurs, and you've got Villa, and you've got Newcastle. If Brighton keep it up, you've got Brighton as well. I personally don't think they've done enough. I think the Spurs will finish higher than them at least. Not enough for me by any stretch. 7.5 including the youth players. Craig says spent over 200 mil, Jesus Christ, and the other team is supposedly bought success, says Craig. Yeah, they've spent a lot of money. And there's no excuses for Ten Hag now. Me and Gasky have spoken about this at length. There's no excuses now. You got to put up or shut up. You've got to what? Let me just leave that chat thingy. Ten Hag's got to have a good season. I don't think he's going to have a good season because I don't rate him as a manager or a human being. So I don't think Ten Hag's lasting the season, which is a shame for him because he's now bought a full starting 11. He's bought like one of every position, hasn't he? Conference League bound, says Killian. Either Chelsea or United getting 4th, says Musty. I think United might get like 6th. I think 5th or 6th maybe. I like Spurs for 4th. It's an interesting window. There's lots of interesting players there. I just don't know how good it is. Speaking of interesting, let's end on this, shall we? Let's end on Chelsea. Chelsea are a fucking weird club, man. I don't care what people are trying to justify. This is a weird transfer strategy, in terms of what they're doing. It is odd. Let's start with departures. They've sold a lot of stuff. I didn't realize I sold Martin for 40 million. That's good. Conor Gallagher, 40 million. That's good. Lewis Hall, 30 million. They should have kept him, to be honest. He would have been a lot better than Cobble, but hey ho. They finally got rid of Lukaku. That's good. And they get his wages off. Hot take apparently, but Chelsea had a good winner. Don't worry, Musty, we'll talk about that. I haven't even decided yet. Again, that's good. Good. God, I forgot Ziyech was still a Chelsea player. Christ. Malik Sarr, forgot he existed. And who else did they? Obviously, yeah, Sterling on loan. Broja went on loan to Everton in the end. Chalobah. Oh wow, Chalobah went. I didn't see that. I didn't know that transfer happened. I didn't watch transfer deadline day, so I've missed out on. I didn't realize that Kepa went to Bournemouth and Chalobah went to Palace. This is new information to me. How interesting. So they're just desperate to get the wages off the books, then I suppose. I wonder if there's any obligations there. Poch forgot, yeah, literally. Sancho, as I did know about that one, in fairness. So, in terms of the outgoings, it is really good. They got rid of a lot of the players they wanted to get rid of. They weren't able to get rid of Chilwell. But they were, I know they had like a list of people who they froze out in the cold. Sterling was one of them, as was Chalobah. As was Chilwell, but he's not gone. Gallagher as well, that was another one. So the outgoings are good, I think. I think that's a really good amount of outgoings. They haven't... Maatsen going is a bit of a shame, because again, he's better than Chilwell, and funnily enough, they've sold 2 left-backs who are better than their current one in Chilwell. Obviously, good creative thing. So I actually think the outgoings are really good. Petrovic as well. Like, I'd rate that very highly from a purely outgoings perspective. So, let's now take a look at the incomings. Because there's obviously a lot. Of course. I don't know how many exactly. Let's find out. Okay, maybe not as many as I thought. Neto. Good signing. Good player. Yes. You need a wide winger. Makes total sense. Great signing, in fact. Injury record is a thing, but... I think it's a player, for that price, it's worth the risk. You take that. Good signing. This is a shit signing and I hate it. João Felix, this signing does not make any sense from a sporting perspective. This signing is a pure money signing, an accounting signing. They've literally only signed João Felix so that they can sell Gallagher to Atletico Madrid, so they can get the pure profit from an academy player on the books now, because they're concerned about it being in breach of PSR rules. You rate it. Tell me why you rate it, Musty. I'll tell you why I don't rate it. In the first instance, as I say, it's not been done for sporting reasons. They didn't even want Felix. They wanted that other striker. It didn't end up happening. Where's he going to play? This guy's not a winger. He's a central player. As you say, he can play behind Jackson or instead of Jackson. But they also wanted Osimhen. I know they didn't get him in the end, but they were fucking desperate for him. So I don't think he can play as an out-and-out striker, to be honest. I don't think he's good enough to do that. I think that his actual position is behind the striker. So, you know, it says here second striker. In Chelsea's setup, it might be more like, you know, an attacking midfielder. But, like, Palmer would be a better option there. And Nkunku would be a better option there. I think it's a bad signing. I don't get it. It's a lot of money. He's a player who failed at Atletico Madrid, and he failed at Barcelona, and he wasn't particularly impressive in his spell at Chelsea. I know he scored in his debut or whatever, but I'm sorry, he wasn't good. I think it's a bad signing. Maybe that'll get proven wrong. Fundamentally, I think it's a bad signing because it's not a sporting signing. It's been done to facilitate the sale of Gallagher. That's what this signing is. And I think that's bad from a footballing, sporting perspective. He played quite well when he came on as a striker last game, so must say, hey, maybe he'll prove me wrong. But I'd rather Nkunku be there. I'd rather Jackson be there. I'd rather... who else did I say? Palmer, Nkunku, Jackson. And again, they tried, even with him coming in, they tried to get Osman. Weird. Dewsbury Hall, not seen enough of him, obviously. He's a big Maresca player, of course. I guess I just question, where does he play? Because again, there's Lafia, and there's Caicedo, and there's Enzo. And here's the thing, there's nothing wrong with having a big squad, because City, have a... I mean, they don't have a big squad, but you know what I mean? They've got a high-quality squad. But the difference is that Chelsea is signing first-teamers, and they're signing players who are going to want to start the majority of games in the league. And obviously, not every player can start the majority of games in the league. Someone's got to miss out. So it's all well and good saying, well, we'll just rotate, we've got loads of games. That's fine, but when you sign first-team quality players who want to play in the biggest games, you are introducing issues. It's a very confusing thing. I don't know anything about his keeper. Fine. Amari Kellerman. Oh, was that financial signing again? Yeah, brilliant. Mike Penders, 20 million again. 20 million on who? I don't know. I even know who these people are. Aaron Anselmino. Okay. Renato Vega. Yeah, that's all right, I guess. Caleb Wiley, sure. Mark Gay. Yeah. Changing room will be chaos. This is a good signing. Adrabayo. That is a very, very, very good signing, in fairness. Sorry, Jack. What were you saying? Say it now. Yeah, Adrabayo is a very good signing. I think that Chelsea have signed a lot of players. Well, no, that's... You know what I mean? They have signed a lot of players. But as I touched on with the West Ham one, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a good window. Because you can't just think about the players they've brought in. You've also got to think about how will it work and balance with the rest of the players. Where does Dewsbury Hall play? Where does João Felix play? Neto, in terms of income, Neto is the only one I look at there and go, I like that signing. I think Neto works. He's an immediate improvement out wide. Probably on the left, he'd say, out over... I know it says right winger there, but he can play both. Left or right, to be honest. But I reckon if Madueke keeps popping off, you might want your starting wide players to be Madueke, Neto, for example. Or you shouldn't play Palmer on the right in Maresca's system, but Palmer, and he shouldn't play Nkunku on the left either. Nkunku should not be playing out wide. Felix should not be playing out wide, otherwise you're not using them properly. And Jackson and Mudryk is going to have to play because they invested so much money into him. And I didn't even talk about Jadon Sancho. Where's this lad playing? He's not going to play on the right because he stinks there. He hasn't been good on the right since Hakimi at Dortmund. He's not going to play centrally because there's Palmer there, and there's Nkunku there, and there's João Felix there, and there's Enzo there, and there's Caicedo there. So the option is the left wing, where there is Neto, and there is Mudryk, who they've invested a lot of... I know you're saying Maresca doesn't rate him, must he, but the club rate him because they forced out Sterling, not Mudryk. So Mudryk's going to get some game time. They can't give up on that project. Nkunku's probably going to play a bit on the left, even though he shouldn't play there. If we're saying that Felix is playing where Jackson is, then maybe Jackson needs to play some game time on the left as well. Where's this guy playing? No, I can't see it. I can't even see a world where he gets like... How low am I going to go? How many starts does Jadon Sancho get in the league? But let's assume, for argument's sake, just for a moment, he plays both, to be honest, mostly. And a little bit, he's played a little bit centrally as well. For argument's sake, let's assume no significant injuries. For argument's sake, how many starts does Jadon Sancho get for Chelsea this season? It's not more than 12. I don't think. What do you guys reckon? Because again, because if we're being incredibly generous to Sancho and saying he can play off the right, he can play off the left, he can play centrally. On the right, he's competing with Palmer, Madueke, Neto. You could even No, never mind. Am I missing? I feel like I'm missing a right winger there. Maybe I'm not. Off the left, he's again competing with Kunku, maybe Felix, maybe Jackson, certainly Mudryk, certainly Neto. He's also not playing a striker. And then in the centre, Kunku, and Felix, and Palmer, and Enzo, and Caicedo. And Dewsbury Hall if he plays more advanced. How many starts is he getting? Diaz has 10, Village 13, 10 to 15, 11, 10, 6. Just, I don't get the signing. It makes no sense to me. What's the purpose of it? Because it's not a loan. It's not just a loan, is it? Isn't it a loan with an obligation to buy? So this isn't a short-term situation. I'm pretty sure they have to spend like 25 or 30 million on him. Oh, I'm talking about all comps. He might get some game time. I'm talking about the Premier League. I don't know if he gets more than 10 starts, and that just seems mad to me because he's not going to be on cheap money. If anyone thinks that he's taken a ridiculous pay cut from his mad earnings at Man United to move to Chelsea, you're in cuckoo land. He's going to be on insane money. No matter what, no matter how many times Chelsea keep briefing that you know, oh, this player's only on two shillings a second or whatever. Jadon Sancho is not going to go from his fat contract at Man United and get paid a pittance at Chelsea. It's not happening. It's a 25 million obligation to buy if Chelsea finish top 14. That's such a weird stipulation. Why? Why? That's so weird. B says Sanchez, Chelsea's best natural left wing right now. And to be fair, B, I mean, you might be right. I don't know if you are, because... Oh, you say natural, so... If we're saying natural, then yeah, I guess technically Neto's not a natural left-sided player. But it comes back to the Mudryk thing of... How much did they spend on Mudryk? It was like £80 million. They are not... And they can't devalue that asset. I mean, maybe playing him does devalue it. But you know what I mean? They can't give up on him. No matter how much Maresca might want to, that is clearly a clear lake signing. And it's like, nah, you got to make this work, fam. You got to make this work. And if that means that he starts more than you want him to start, tough. He's going to start. I know, Killian's crazy. Maybe for Chelsea Fish, can you imagine, B? Chelsea will have to buy Sancho as long as they finish top 14. Why is that the stipulation? Top 14? That's so weird. There's obviously a reason. It must be some stuff like maybe like prize money that you earn or something. I don't know. Hello, Omar. Quick question. What do you use to watch games that have already been played, like today's game? I record it on my Skybox, Omar. It's got a recording setting on my Sky. Maybe, yeah, halves maybe. Or yeah, something like, you know, it's to do with like the prize money that you get in like from 14th down doesn't justify it. I don't know. Makes me wonder, is Roman still underground washing his money in Chelsea? It's just very unusual. Chelsea have had a weird window, man. They had an opportunity to do some good shit here, but they went mental. It's almost like they can't help themselves. Because they bought Neto, it's like, okay, that's great. And then they bought Felix, like, why have you bought Felix? And they bought Sancho, why have you bought Sancho? It's bizarre. It really is. And it was just like what Jack and I were saying earlier. There's a big difference between signing a player who is going to be happy not starting the majority of it. For example, Kovacic at City. There is no world in which he came to City thinking, I mean, maybe it will transpire to be the case, but there's no way he signed for City thinking, I'm signing to be a starter, like, you know, consistently. I'll start the majority of the games in the league. Mateus Nunes, likewise. There are lots of players at City who understand their position. Not everyone is Foden, De Bruyne, Hall, and Rodri. So, some players are locked in. Again, like a Rodri is locked in, a Ruben Diaz, an Edison, probably a Gvardiol, etc. There are some players. Of course, you have them in your squad. But the point is that you complement that with players who don't mind about being rotated, i.e., you know, Doku, Savio, Rico Lewis. Okay, Kovacic, Nunes, Kanji probably, etc., etc. Chelsea keep signing first teamers. And you know they're first teamers because of how much money they've spent on them and the wages that they're being paid. And it just makes no sense. You can't start all these lads. It's all well and good saying, well, we've got 60-odd games in a season. Yeah, but fucking Enzo Fernandez did not sign for Chelsea to be rotated and go play fucking Noah FC in the Conference League qualifiers. Or the group stages of the Conference League, sorry. Enzo Fernandez was signed for a British record amount to start like over 30 Premier League games. Caicedo was signed as a British record amount to start over 30 Premier League games. Now, already, you've got 2 midfield slots locked in. Before we even kick a ball there. Palmer is your best player. He needs to start over 30 games as well because he's Cole Palmer. And again, he's not come to your club to sit on the bench, etc. So I've already said that's 3 midfielders who have to play every game based on those necessities. Yeah? Nora Clash, shut up. So, Dewsbury Hall, what's he doing? Lavia, what's he doing? If João Felix is playing central, again, João Felix is not, unless he's got no ambition at all, he's not signed to be this utility random player. He's signed to start. He's signed for 50 million quid. Where's he playing? Nkunku, big money. Where's he playing? For the majority of the games? It's dumb. Well, it's mad. I don't get it. I'm going to give Chelsea, all that said and done, I really don't like Chelsea's window. I think it's weird. I don't get what they're doing. I don't get it. I don't get it. LB, this is a different stream. Chill. Respect me. We're doing a transfer window thing. Yeah, so, what do you guys reckon? What are we ranking out of 10? This was the last one, by the way, because Mrs. Nobbins said that she wants to go to sleep. And I'm a sweaty lad. I need to go have another shower. I've been live basically since like 5. LB, did you see your thing earlier? Look, it printed out your super chat. Hooray. What are we ranking this out of 10, boys? Chelsea getting 4th or 5th. I said this on Mo's channel. Chelsea are one of those teams where I wouldn't be surprised if they finished 5th. But I also wouldn't be surprised if they finished 8th. Such is the weirdness of their squad. I feel like I'm going to pop them in at 6th-ish. But a generous 5, 6 to 7, 2 or 3, says Craig. A generous 3. Of course LB rates Kovacic. Hello? Of course he does. We've got very similar takes on football. I feel like we defend the same players and we, have concerns about the same players. I think we're quite locked in RE that. I'm going to give them, because the outgoings are very, I'm not impressed with the incomings. I'm not impressed with the incomings for the most part. Neto's the one where I go, yeah, that's great. That's really good. Great price, great player. You need a wide player of that quality. Yeah. Adrabayo as well. Look at that. That's a great signing for free as well. Shut up, must he? He shares my concerns. He shared my concerns, Ari Alvarez. Incomings, yeah, I'm not impressed. Outgoings, I am. Because I got rid of a lot of dead wood, in fairness. I reckon that balances out to like a 6 or a 7, probably. At a push, a 7. There you go, you see, must take Kovacic ball. Still think he doesn't cover ground well in solo at the end rope, but we can... Exactly. And exactly, that's Rodri's biggest weakness. That is Kovacic's. It's not a weakness of Nunes, in fairness. And it's certainly not a weakness of Bruno Guimaraes. That's why I wanted him. But there we go. Lads, thank you so much for joining me today. A different stream. We normally do these every transfer window because they are fun. I do like to get you guys on the phone to have a chat about that sort of stuff. So thank you for joining me. And thank you to the people who came and spoke. Shout out Chris for joining the Ultras Club. Well done. Bolton, big up Bolton Wanderers. Shout out to William earlier for him joining the Ultras Club. And again, Ari Super Chats, thank you to LB, Andrew, Amar, and Nick. Very, very kind and generous. Lovely, lovely. I'll be back. Oh, my nose. Next week. Not sure when exactly. I will try to release an analysis video tomorrow. We'll see how we get on there. Spoilers, it will be about Jack Grealish, and that will annoy some people because Jack can have a good game today, and it's still not enough for some people. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what else he has to do. To be honest, he had a great game today. Why can't you say he had a great game? It annoys me. Anyway, have a lovely evening. Go to sleep. I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna shower and then sleep. Goodbye, guys.